On March 18, 1937, in a small Texas town, nearly 300 students and teachers were sitting in class on a Thursday afternoon. 19 minutes before the school day ended, the building disappeared. Not burned, not collapsed. It exploded so violently that a 2-ton concrete block landed on a car parked 200 feet away. This is the New London School explosion, the deadliest school disaster in American history, and the reason gas has a smell today is because of what happened that afternoon. New London, Texas sat in the middle of the East Texas oil field, one of the richest in the country at the time. The school district serving the area was, at that point, the wealthiest rural school district in America, funded almost entirely by oil money. The school board had recently built a modern, state-of-the-art junior-senior high school building to match that wealth, and to save money on heating, they made a decision that seemed practical at the time. Instead of paying for gas from their contracted supplier, the school tapped into a residue gas line from a nearby oil company, gas that was essentially a waste byproduct, offered to them for free. Here's the detail that made this decision catastrophic instead of just cost-effective. Natural gas, in its raw form, has no smell at all. It's completely odorless. The practice of adding a distinct sulfur smell to gas, the rotten egg odor everyone recognizes today, wasn't standard practice yet in 1937. So when this odorless residue gas began leaking, slowly and invisibly, into crawl spaces beneath the school for what investigators later believed was days, maybe longer, nobody in the building had any way to know. The gas pooled under the building, filling an enclosed crawl space that ran beneath the classrooms, undetected because there was nothing to detect. On the afternoon of March 18th, in a manual training classroom, a teacher switched on a sanding machine. The spark from that single switch is believed to have ignited the accumulated gas beneath the building. The explosion was catastrophic. Witnesses described the roof lifting into the air before the walls blew outward. The blast was reportedly felt and heard for miles. Rescue efforts began almost immediately. Parents, oil field workers, and volunteers digging through rubble with their bare hands. But the scale of destruction meant many students had no chance. The final death toll is estimated between 296 and 319 people. The exact number still debated because record-keeping in the chaos was incomplete and remains the deadliest disaster to ever strike an American school. News of the explosion reached the entire country almost instantly. Walter Cronkite, then a young wire service reporter, later said covering New London affected him more than almost any story he covered in his career, including the assassination of a president decades later. Investigations moved fast, and the cause was identified within days, an undetectable gas leak in an enclosed space. The response moved even faster. Within about a month of the explosion, the Texas legislature passed a law requiring that all gas used for commercial and residential purposes in the state be odorized, meaning a chemical compound had to be added specifically so leaks could be smelled before they became lethal. Other states followed. Eventually, it became standard practice nationwide, and today it's essentially universal in the developed world. That distinct sulfur smell you notice if you ever have a gas leak in your home exists specifically because of what happened in New London, Texas. The tragedy also led to a lasting piece of legislation named in a way most people never think about. Because the exact number of victims couldn't be confirmed with full certainty, and because so many of the dead were minors, Texas eventually enacted rules affecting how student and minor records are handled and reported, principles that echoed forward into broader school safety and disaster reporting standards used today. New London built a memorial museum near the site, and a small cenotaph lists the names of the known victims. The school itself was rebuilt and still operates today. Most people who smell that distinct gas odor before lighting a stove or noticing a leak have no idea the smell exists because of a Texas school that vanished in seconds, and a law written in the weeks after so that no one would ever have to find out about a leak the same way those students did.